In the sleepy town of Kanpur, nestled in the shadows of misty hills, there was a name that no one dared to utter after sunset. Tisha Chahil. Her name was more than a whisper of fear. It was a curse that sent shivers down spines. To the few who still remembered, she was a girl who vanished decades ago, leaving behind a trail of eerie legends and unspeakable horror. Tisha Chahil was a bright, vivacious 16-year-old who lived at the edge of the forest with her parents. She was known for her love of painting and often disappeared into the woods for inspiration. One fateful monsoon evening, she didn't return. A frantic search ensued, but the forest, dense and unyielding, seemed to swallow her whole. The only clue left behind was her canvas, depicting a figure with hollow eyes and a twisted smile, standing under a blood-red moon. Days turned into weeks, and Tisha's parents were inconsolable. Then, on the 13th day of her disappearance, her mother claimed she saw Tisha standing at the edge of the forest. She ran to her, only to find herself face to face with a shadow, a figure that looked like Tisha, but whose eyes gleamed like embers. The apparition whispered her name before vanishing into the woods. After that, strange things began to happen. Children went missing. People reported hearing whispers in the forest, beckoning them deeper. The legend grew that Tisha Chahil had been taken by a malevolent force and now lured others to the same fate. Years later, the story had become nothing more than a chilling tale told to scare children. But for Arav, Meera and Kabir, three thrill-seeking friends, it was the perfect challenge. They dared each other to visit the forest on the anniversary of Tisha's disappearance, under the blood moon, just as the legend described. Armed with flashlights and bravado, they set out at midnight. The forest was eerily quiet, the usual hum of crickets replaced by an oppressive silence. As they ventured deeper, they noticed strange carvings on the trees, symbols that looked ancient and ominous. "She probably got lost and died," Kabir scoffed, trying to mask his nervousness, but his laughter was cut short when they heard it, a faint, melodic hum. "Tisha's song," Meera whispered, her face pale. The hum grew louder, weaving through the trees like a ghostly thread. The group followed it, unable to resist its haunting pull. It led them to a clearing where a lone easel stood, untouched by time. On it was a fresh painting, a depiction of the three of them standing exactly as they were, with a shadowy figure looming behind. Before they could react, the forest came alive with whispers. They swirled around them, echoing their names. A cold wind swept through, extinguishing their flashlights. In the darkness, Arav felt a cold hand on his shoulder. He spun around but saw nothing, only a pair of glowing eyes staring at him from the shadows. "Run!" Meera screamed. The escape. They sprinted through the forest, the whispers growing louder, more guttural. The trees seemed to close in, their branches clawing at them like skeletal fingers. Kabir stumbled and fell, screaming as the shadowy figure descended upon him. Arav and Meera didn't stop. They burst out of the forest just as the first light of dawn broke over the hills. Gasping for breath, they turned back, but the forest was silent again, as if nothing had happened. Kabir was gone. The aftermath. Arav and Meera tried to explain what had happened, but no one believed them. The authorities searched the forest, but found no trace of Kabir or of the mysterious easel. The legend of Tisha Chahil only grew, with whispers claiming that she had claimed another victim. As for Arav and Meera, they left Kanpur, vowing never to speak of that night again. But sometimes, when they closed their eyes, they could still see her, Tisha Chahil, her hollow eyes staring back at them, her twisted smile promising that one day she would come for them too. And on stormy nights, the villagers swear they can hear her hum, carrying through the forest, luring the unwary to their doom.